What a rural person in India would not touch. Very sophisticated cities are eating that kind of food. Today the national diet is pizza or pasta. We are losing our sense about food.
Dairy products have certain enzymes which are used today to manufacture certain textile adhesives. These adhesives are not water soluble. So when you consume lot of dairy product, it goes and sticks in your colon.
Nearly 60% of the world's antacids are sold in America, the most affluent population on the planet. This means they have a whole choice of nourishment. They can eat the best food, but no, they will eat the worst food. All the other tuberous material like potatoes and potato family are zero pranic, but they cause what is called the stamus. Stamus means it brings a certain inertia into you. We generally advise students and meditators not to eat potatoes and its family because they increase the sleep quota. Both for the student who's studying and for the meditator, the biggest enemy is the sleep.
Dairy products have certain enzymes which are used today to manufacture certain textile adhesives. These adhesives are not water soluble. So when you consume lot of dairy product, it goes and sticks in your colon. So the waste material which should have easily flown out will not flow out of the system.
The general alertness in the body and in the mind will go down by consumption of dairy products. There is something called as Viruddh Ahar. That means if you eat one thing and put another thing which works opposite to that, then in your system there is a war. Digestive process is largely between acids and alkalines and all this stuff. For example, you eat meat which is fatty. If you ate it by itself, it may not cause that much damage. But you ate that with rice and ghee, you call that biryani and you ate it. Now the damage is big because these two things will not go together. This is why any non-vegetarian food and milk-related food were never mixed, because the moment you mix it, it will go opposite to each other and you create a battle within yourself.
In Ayurveda, the concept of Viruddh Ahar refers to an incompatible or unbalanced diet. This type of diet involves the consumption of foods that are contradictory in nature or that disturb the body's natural balance. According to Ayurvedic principles, the body is governed by the three fundamental elements or doshas, namely Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Each dosha represents different physiological functions and aspects of health. Several food combinations are considered incompatible according to Ayurvedic texts. Sharing a few examples, such as dahi, which is curd or yogurt, should never be consumed at night. Second, avoid drinking cold water immediately during or after consuming hot tea or coffee. Third, warm honey should not be ingested by individuals suffering from heat exhaustion or sunstroke, as heating honey turns it toxic and can be fatal. Bananas and milk should never be eaten together, as this combination may cause cold, cough, and even trigger allergies. Fifth is avoid mixing raw and cooked foods together at the same time, because both have different digestive times which could lead to fermentation of foods.
And today the national diet is pizza or pasta. What is it? Which is one? I don't know. Both were competing. So, we are losing our sense about food. It's definitely time to look at what is the most suitable thing. If I go into that food, it's a very long process, but you must experiment with food. Not just by the tongue, but by the body. You eat something today and see what a rural person in India would not touch. Very sophisticated cities are eating that kind of food. When I say that kind of food, almost anything, if you're consuming foods which are tamasic or causes inertia in the general function of your system, in the energetic process of who you are, then you will see cognition levels slowly will go down over a period of time. Because everybody understands this. This is why they're drinking cups and cups of Coca-Cola or coffee or alcohol or something else, because they know they need to balance that. So this kind of balance is a very rudimentary way of balancing your system, that you're putting wrong things and then you're trying to correct it with right things. The highest number of antacids in the world, nearly 60% of the world's antacids are sold in America, the most affluent population on the planet. This means they have a whole choice of nourishment. They can eat the best food, but no, they will eat the worst food, because commercial forces will decide what you eat. You cannot eat consciously anymore what you want to eat. Your body and your brain works at its best only when your stomach is empty. So we always make sure we eat in such a way how much ever we eat, our stomach must be always empty within 2 to 2.5 hours' time maximum.
Pizza and pasta can be less healthy due to several factors. They are high in refined carbohydrates, which can spike blood sugar levels and lead to weight gain. Additionally, common toppings such as pepperoni, sausage, and cheese are rich in saturated fat and sodium, increasing the risk of heart diseases and high blood pressure. Even with heat or multigrain bases, the gluten content can inflame the intestines. Combined with cheese and spices, these foods have a high glycemic index, causing acidity, high cholesterol, elevated blood sugars, and increased blood pressure.